Sinbad and the Birds. Sinbad and his crew were sailing through the ocean when they came to an island. The sky was stormy, so they decided to camp on the island for a few days. While searching for fresh water, some of the sailors found a huge white egg. Sinbad said, "Don't touch that egg, it belongs to a bird, as huge as a mountain. I have seen one before." But the other sailors ignored him and cooked the egg. They had just finished eating when two huge birds appeared in the sky. The sailors were so scared that they ran to the ship and set sail at once. But Sinbad stayed on the island as it was not safe to sail in a storm. The angry birds picked up huge boulders in their claws and dropped them on the ship. The ship was wrecked and only a few sailors managed to swim back safely to the island. Sinbad and the Island of Treasure. Sinbad was sailing through the Indian Ocean when a terrible storm wrecked his ship. He was tossed onto a deserted island, but his entire crew was drowned. Sinbad was very sad, but decided to explore the island. Perhaps someone lives here and can help me, he thought. He spent the whole day walking around the island. There were no people on the island, but Sinbad found a cave full of treasure. There were huge diamonds, rubies, and piles of jewelry. Sinbad decided to build a raft. After many days of hard work, he managed to build a strong raft and secured a few jewels to it. Then he cast off into the ocean. He floated for 3 whole days until a passing merchant ship rescued him. When Sinbad reached Baghdad, he sold the jewels and became rich. But he could never find the Island of Treasure again. Sinbad's escape. After traveling around the world for years, Sinbad married a beautiful woman and settled down in her hometown. Sadly, she fell ill after a year and died. One of his friends told him, "My friend, escape while you can. In this land, husbands are buried along with their dead wives." Sinbad immediately started planning how to escape and hid some jewels in his pockets. The next morning, the townspeople took Sinbad and his dead wife to a cave in the nearby mountain. The cave was sealed with a huge boulder. Sinbad immediately tried to find some other way out of the cave. He could clearly hear the sound of running water. Following the water, he finally emerged near the sea, far away from his wife's town. He sold the jewelry he had hidden and bought a ship. He said, "It is safer to face the sea than the strange customs of people." The Village of Savages. James was an explorer who had traveled across the world. Once he was flying over a forest when the engine of his plane failed and crashed into the trees. As James got out of the fallen plane, he heard the sound of drums. Before long, he reached a village. There was a fire burning in the middle of the village, and men and women were circling it, chanting and beating drums. 2 men dragged out a young child from a hut. One of them held a sword. They were going to kill the child. James realized that these were savage cannibals. Luckily, he had his gun with him. He immediately fired, scaring the savages. Then he ran in and rescued the child. For 2 days, they hid in the forest until they were rescued. Most people did not believe James' story, but he knew it was the truth.
Thanks for watching. Do like, share, subscribe to Sahil Book House.